um, they got the Star Wars gig, and so HBO, like right around season 7, HBO said, Benioff and Weiss, you can have a blank check, and you can do as many seasons of this show as you want. As with as many episodes, like this is our golden goose. Just keep making us money. And they're like, now we're gonna do one more with 6 episodes. Because they were done with it, like they didn't want to do it anymore, and they wanted to go and do Star Wars.
Plus, they didn't want to give it to anyone else either.
What was that?
They didn't want to give it to anyone else either.
Right. That's the other thing. Is the fucking hubris that they didn't think that anyone else could do it as well as they could. It's just crazy. And the thing that we'll probably talk about when we do our when we pick up the Buzz recap again at season 6, like the Game of Thrones fans that I talk to, almost all of them don't necessarily have a problem with where the characters end up. They just have a huge problem with how they got there, and how poorly developed it was.
Yeah, it's like they tried like shoving like I think like what 2 or 3 seasons worth of content.
They could have done 2 seasons. They could have done 2 more seasons easily.
Oh yeah, I mean the problem is like we got used to a level of characterization, and we got used to just the character development that was going along, and then they decided, nah, we need to finish this, so we're gonna skip a lot of these steps that we used to do before, and just bring you right to the end,
right?
Which, of course, to the audience wasn't satisfying.
Yeah, and the other fact too is
I will die on this hill that the big battle, like in the fucking dark, was one of their biggest fucking mistakes.
Yeah, so that was
if I'm just looking at a black screen, all I'm seeing is my own dumbass reflected in the screen as I'm wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah, so that wasn't a call by Benioff and Weiss. That was a call by Miguel Sapochnik, who is the director of that episode. And so that was filmed day for night, and he did a similar episode in House of the Dragon because there wasn't shit you needed to see, it worked better. Like there's shit in in one episode of House of the Dragon, there's shit that happens at night, but since you're not like looking for ice zombies, it's like it isn't as bad. Now the thing being, I'm sure that if you were to watch that episode on like a really fancy TV or like in theaters or something, and I will also buy into the argument. I at least understand the argument that there are moments of that episode, and I was talking to Chris about this when I like strapped him to my couch and like pried his eyes open and made him watch. There are moments where that darkness feels terrifying because you have you have no idea what's there, and it just comes out of nowhere. But the
problem is it stretches on too long.
Yeah. Well, they use it to cover up some of their CGI problems. So like
some of their pickup trucks as well, and fucking Starbucks cups.
Yeah, well, that's a different episode, but
you can actually see the pickup truck in the back.
Yeah, the thing is like, it's like the Jurassic Park thing. You go and watch Jurassic Park. The T-Rex looks amazing, and it's 100% CGI in the 90s, which is fucking crazy. But then you consider that it's in the dark, and that's one of the reasons they got by with it so much, is because you don't see too much of the detail. And so they used a lot of that darkness to cover up some of the dragons, which made it cheaper. Like there's a bunch of shit that they kind of like, oh, it's really dark, we don't have to like put as much resources into this CG, like the CGI and stuff.
HBO was willing to give them so much more.
Yeah. Yep.
And they really...
Yeah, they could have written their own ticket. I mean, it could have been another 3 seasons, and if they had actually... this is the other thing, is it is entirely possible that Benioff and Weiss were never very good writers. They just had the source material up until season 6, because the spoilers, by the way, for Game of Thrones if anyone's watching, at the end of season 5 when Jon Snow dies, that's the end of the material. Even still, like he hasn't written a book past that moment.
Finish the books, George.
Yeah, well, there's a rumor that they're going to release
plan,
it after season 2 of House of the Dragon, but I don't know if I believe that.
His plan is to never finish the books.
Well, he said he's practically finished with Winds of Winter. So
he's said that for 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I'm not getting invested in the books, because I don't want to get up to whatever book we're on now and him fucking die, and then
I know some authors that know him personally. Like, he's been like a guest at one of the workshops that I have some friends who run. It's called the Odysseys Writers Workshop in like New Hampshire, and just like he is not the sort of he is much more comfortable at this point like editing works like his Wild Card series or doing like the history books based on Westeros, because I think he is
like the material that House of the Dragon is based on that.
Yeah, I think he's plainly just terrified of the fan reaction of the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones.
Well, that's the thing, though. And by the way, Desi Boy in our chat says, "Good morning, love Game of Thrones, but totally agree with what you're saying. Game of Thrones was a license to print money. It absolutely was." And that's the thing, is that might be another reason why he's taking a little bit of time, because he might be.
The franchise died so quickly.
If I were him, I would be gauging the audience's reaction to certain things. And the stuff that people really didn't like conceptually, I would just write it a different way.
He could, but I mean, right now, he already has his fuck you money. Like,
yeah.
he got a lot of money for this, and he doesn't really have too much in the way of incentive of finishing it.
Yeah,
like,
he's
scenario. People like it, and then they're like, okay, but it took you a really long time, and we like it of the same level that we did before. Worst case scenario, they're like, oh, so you made us wait all the time for this shit? So at this point, I think he's happier just doing his editing, doing these little history books, and talking about his favorite football teams.
I think that a lot of people are relieved. So he is a lot more directly involved with House of the Dragon than he was the last couple episodes last seasons of Game of Thrones. Because famously, there was a disagreement. There was an unspecified disagreement between Benioff and Weiss and Gurm. And he ended up leaving the show. And then when the dust from that settled, and they were, so you might remember they announced like 7 or 8 spinoff series for like before the last season was finished, because they thought that people were going to love it so much.
There was supposed to be like a Jon Snow one and everything.
Right. Yeah. But they've done away with a lot of those, and a lot of that has to do with David Zaslav and everything, who doesn't want to do anything on that platform other than just reality TV. Like, there's a whole other part of that is important. Yeah, he's an absolute dick. And Gurm has signaled that it might be a problem in the future for other Game of Thrones shows, because he was like, it's probably not going to affect House of the Dragon too much because of the contracts that were signed, but like I wouldn't necessarily expect other Game of Thrones stuff to go forward while David Zaslav is, kind of in charge of all that bullshit. Anyway.
Well, it's not just that. It's like, sorry.
No, you're good. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, with 3 or 4 of us and one topic. I mean, Chris and I can talk for an hour about anything. With 3 or 4 of us, we could talk even longer. That's what I was talking about earlier, about doing a discussion show. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, not just that, but the Harley Quinn show has been like fire. It's gotten people back into like DC.
Are you talking about the animated one?
Yeah, and then he just wants to cancel it because he doesn't believe in animation. Like, what the fuck is that bullshit?
Yeah, it's
he doesn't believe in paying people to animate. That's what he's saying. Because the unfortunate truth of animation is it costs a hell of a lot of money to do.
Well, the other thing too is for people like David Zaslav is like that money. So like you hire animators, that money is their money, when you pay them, and instead you could just have it be your money, which is what he wants. Like this isn't about any higher philosophy on film or visual media. This is David Zaslav. David Zaslav doesn't care what he's selling. The only thing that matters to him is if he'll make a few bucks more every year. That's the only thing he cares about.
I mean, people can say what they want about The Simpsons, but like, you know,
I will. You know what? I will say what I will. It's got a banging fucking opening theme, and thank you, Danny Elfman, for having written it.
And there actually have been some good episodes in recent seasons that I've watched.
I agree.
Which, have surprised me quite a bit. It's like they've told the writers, "Hey, you know what doesn't work? Us trying to do old Simpsons episodes. So go fucking nuts."
But yeah,
it's like oddly in newer seasons, Marge and Homer love each other.
Yeah,
like,
I heard.
What?
I heard like the jerk ass Homer thing is like kind of done with. He's just like a nicer guy now.
Oh, I'm sure the anti woke crowd would be like, "Oh, that's like a man hating, like not hating his wife. That's so fucking woke."
But it's like it's in some of these recent seasons, it shows you why they actually work as a couple, and it's like, oh, okay.
Honestly, I think it's because like of Bob's Burgers, because like Bob's Burgers has always been pretty wholesome between Bob and
Bob's Burgers is one of the best animated shows I've ever seen, and I like it. I like it more than Family Guy by a magnitude of 1 billion.
Honestly, Family Guy. So
Family Guy was great when we were in college. I don't think it's funny at all anymore.
So the best way to watch Family Guy, in my opinion, is not watching the episodes, is watching the clips on YouTube, or just like the show,
or just getting piss ass drunk and where you laugh at anything.
Yeah.
The best part of Family Guy was the fact that it allowed Seth MacFarlane to make the Orville.
Yeah.
That show was.
Yeah, that show was actually it's pretty good too. Desi Boy says, with all that said, the Battle of the Bastards was epic. Yeah, that's one of the episodes that I made Chris watch. So Chris, other than our buzzed recaps, Chris has only seen important episodes that I've picked that I've made him watch. Well, while he's a captive audience in my house.
He strapped me to the chair and pried my eyes open like Clockwork Orange.
I also slapped him in the face with a dildo a couple times. That had nothing to do with Game of Thrones.
It was actually very disturbing.
Battle of the Bastards, though, is breathtakingly amazing.
We're almost at 9 now, so maybe.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we should probably get going on why we're actually here, by the way, because this is the 27th episode of Gungans and Dragons, which is our weekly Star Wars tabletop RPG. We don't ordinarily start off with a half-hour conversation about Game of Thrones, but I'm not sorry that we did. So if you're having trouble reconciling that, that sounds like a you problem, not necessarily an us problem. But we are here to play some Star Wars. I guess live some Star Wars.
Breathe some Star Wars.
Yeah. So we all play characters. And Sean, why don't you get us caught up to speed on where we are, where we're going, and.
Okay. Yeah. So last week, you guys arrived at Mustafar. You entered a secret base that had been revealed by some blasting that the Mustafarians have been doing recently.
Mm-hmm.
Mustafarians.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought he said Rastafarians for a second, and I was like, wait a second.
Gotcha. But yeah, so you did that. You found the base. You went inside the base. I was about to say Kelnaka. No, it's not Kelnaka. It's
nope. We're gonna see him on Tuesday. I think we're doing Kelnaka. So on Star Wars: The Acolyte. I'm pretty excited.
But we're gonna. But yeah, it's what is your master's?
Kronsak. Yeah.
I couldn't remember. I'm sorry. But yeah, Kronsak went back to the ship. Or at least Chris's body with Kronsak went back to the ship. But yeah, everyone else is down here. You're all in this room, right? You passed by a helmet.
We've come into this bizarre room, and the helmet we were not allowed to touch.
Yeah, you realized the helmet was Darth Momin's.
Yeah, Darth Momin's helmet.
And then you went into this room with a button in the middle, and it's just like a square room, and the only
bad moment to be there.
Shut up.
And it looks like there's space enough for someone to squeeze into like a pedestal sort of thing.
Yes. Yep.
And so we're trying to decide if we're going to squeeze into it.
Did you guys check the ceiling at all?
How high is the ceiling?
I would like to check the ceiling, I think.
Yeah, you see the ceiling is about 30 feet up, and you see in the middle of the ceiling is like it's kind of like a hole that's like right above the
Nice.
the area in the middle of the room. Like with the
Oh,
button and
I
everything.
asked, I think before last session, but I'm not sure if I got an answer. If this thing looked like it could be like an elevator of some sort.
Oh, I think you did ask, and I think I said. I think I just said you have to press the button to find out.
Yeah, I think we asked and he declined to answer.
Could I make some sort of deduction?
Sure.
What would that be based upon?
Probably mechanics, I think.
Now, here's the question.
Oh, if you fail this, I've got good mechanics, but
Yeah, let's see if I just intuit this. What's the page actually load?
I will say though, like as much as like I enjoy talking about Game of Thrones, like once Rings of Power starts up, you guys are just gonna like I'm gonna reread the Silmarillion. I'm gonna do all my homework so I can talk about stuff.
You know what?
How many purple shown?
Say that again.
How many purple?
Just 2.
I enjoyed the first season of Rings of Power. I don't care what anyone says. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I liked it too. I liked it for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I expected it to be anything else. I've never read the Silmarillion, so.
Ignore the force die that I accidentally used, but.
Okay, so 2 successes and 2 threats. Yeah. So you look at it. Yeah, like so you get the feeling that there is like some. It looks like it is movable. Like you get like you do see like maybe some gears, maybe in like not like exposed gears, but maybe like you do like you can kind of see like gear like things on the walls, like something moved. If that makes sense.
Okay. So I point that out to everybody. Does this look like it would take us multiple trips if we were all to get into this?
So if you want to get into it, you could, but like you're not, like it's not big enough for everybody. So yeah. So it probably would take multiple trips.
Well, who wants to go first?
Who is more mechanically inclined, like just in case something breaks down, since we're looking at stuff that's very old?
I mean, it's going to be me or Brian. I think, right?
Not that much.
Monty, can you, since you have my character sheet, can you check what I've got on mechanics?
You have 4 green.
Is that good?
It's not awful.
It's probably 2 more than I have.
I don't think anybody has any points in it, so it's all going to be whatever their stat is, probably.
I thought I had, maybe I'm thinking of a different stat that I've got like a bunch of shit.
You have 4
Computers, you have 4 gold.
Okay, but so
I'm a nerdy boy.
So you're a bit more likely than the rest of us to be able to fix something if something goes wrong once you're in it. So, do you want to go first? We'll hit the button for you. Is there a button on the inside, or is the button just on the outside?
Hold on. Is the logic you want me to stay behind in case something breaks, or you want me to go first in case something breaks?
Go first in case something breaks, because then you might be able to fix it at the source. Because if this pedestal moves away, we probably wouldn't be able to fix it. And then through the comm link, like if there's no buttons on the inside, you can have us press the button again to try to bring you back.
I can also just jump down and break my legs.
Okay.
You've all
Just
played
trying to
Portal,
reason
right?
it out.
Sorry.
break your old man legs?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm not. You know what? Yeah, I'll go. I'm not in my body. What's the worst that could happen?
So the button, it's just on the outside, right, Sean?
Yeah, it just
not
looks like
inside
that.
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Easy
so
to notice my own body putting itself in peril because I'm just doing somersaults and backflips and
You can do whatever you want
scratching my butt.
if you need to enjoy your newfound youth.
So once he's in, I will press the button and we'll
Okay.
see what happens.
You press the button.
Okay. Also, I'm trying to figure out how to open.
You watch
Worlds.
as the button, and like you watch as
Hopefully
like
this wasn't a sacrifice machine or something.
you watch as the button and the base it's on sinks into the floor around the divot in the floor, and then you watch as nothing happens for a minute. The door that you came in closes.
That's
and
bad.
All of a sudden, the ceiling begins to descend.
Oh.
The ceiling's but there's still a circle? There's still an opening on the ceiling?
So whoever's in the pedestal is safe.
From what you can gather, yes.
Wait, I am the one on the pedestal, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right, but
how quickly is it dropping, by the way?
It's gonna take about probably like a good minute to drop.
Okay.
Refresh my memory. Do I still have Kronsock's lightsaber, or did I give that back to him?
You still have it.
Oh, he said that you should keep it.
I would like to draw a Kronsock's lightsaber and attempt to cut through the now closed door.
Okay. You try to cut through the now closed door. It does not cut.
Like my lightsaber just bounces off of it?
Yeah.
It's probably also made of cortosis, right?
Yes.
That
Yep.
would be my guess.
Yeah.
Being, that I totally know what cortosis is, being a not Jedi.
Just like, wait, aren't these things supposed to cut through anything or something, right?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I say to you, and well, does he have access to force powers while he's in Kronsock's body?
Yes.
I say to you, Chance, feel the force with me and push up against the ceiling. We're gonna try to slow it.
I'm gonna cross my legs on
Or
the
you
pedestal
stop.
and watch with mild amusement.
You could join us as well, Kel, since you have the force.
I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like Genko would be more helpful than me at this point.
Well, also, did we ever settle this? Do I have the force in Genko's body?
Got the metachlorians.
So you do have the force in Genko's body, but like it's so you know how in Ahsoka, like how Sabine.
Everyone can use the force. It's just,
but like
I think midichlorians just show how everyone's natural aptitude. So you're probably not very highly ranked.
So Sean, what you're saying, like I've kind of like blocked it off.
No, it's not blocked off, but I think of it more like I guess you've seen Dragon Ball Z, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
No, because I'm not a virgin.
Baseball. So like a baseball player, like a major leaguer throwing a fastball versus a little league player throwing
A major leaguer stuck in a little leaguer's body throwing a ball.
Basically, yes. Like you know all the techniques, but you have weak little frail like tween arms.
Fish fingers.
Well, it's more that like you have
Feelings.
Like, Genko hasn't actively used the force a lot, so therefore like. So,
can you prove that?
Well, he hasn't used the. I mean, at least in game, he hasn't said he's used the force a lot. So I guess for me, it's just kind of like because like Sabine, when she uses the force, like as she gets better at it, like her reserves go up, right? She has access to like kind of.
She gets her mojo.
Yeah.
Like
So. Yeah.
The more you use it, the more you kind of have it.
Yeah, so because Genko's body hasn't used it a lot, yours is kind of like maybe like a small like pond, whereas Genko, because you use the force a lot, his is like a like a river or an ocean, if that makes sense.
So I can kind of use the force.
Yeah, and probably like the more as you use the force, it's gonna like open up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you just going to represent it by him having more purples, basically?
Not more purples. It's just it. Maybe it was more just it's more just a narrative thing. Like it's just gonna be more of a struggle, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna use the force to feed myself snacks.
I look at Genko and Kel's body and say, push against the ceiling, Genko. We're all going to die.
I'll give it a go. I'll try to use my stubby little force powers.
Chance will raise Kronsock's arms above his head, say, I have no idea what I'm doing, which comes out as and attempt to use the force to stop the ceiling.
Gotcha.
I will attempt to instruct Chance as we do it.
Chris, how do you try to use the force in Kogaka's body?
Chance has no fucking clue what he's doing, so he's just kind of like
Just over in his head, over and over. Use the force. Use the force. Use the force.
Projecting. Thinking about pushing upwards.
Can I roll a leadership check to try to guide him through this?
Yes, you can.
Okay. How many purple?
I'm gonna say, I mean, you're a pretty decent leader, right? I'm gonna say you can just do it.
Okay, so no purple.
Yeah.
Or I managed to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I instruct you how to use the force to kind of push against this. Let me see what age force pushes on. I was like 298. Hold on. Let me just see what skill.
Sean, can you tell us what sound the ceiling makes while it's coming down?
Yeah, it's the same sound like the trash compactor walls made in the Death Star.
No. What you heard was tell me what it sounds like. What I asked was make the sound that it sounds like.
This sounds like as it goes down.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
You can see like it's scratching the walls as it goes down. You see like sparks.
There doesn't happen to be like something I can brace it with, like a la Han Solo, like how you tried to grab that thing and brace the walls.
There's not. This was just an empty room. I mean, you could try to brace it with like a Kronsack, I guess.
So for Kronsock, how many points has he put into the force move tree?
Let's see here.
I don't think he has any force powers actually listed on here.
Yeah.
He has all of them.
Or as a Jedi Master, can it be just assumed he has like a certain level of it?
Yeah, he'll probably be probably force as a Jedi Master. I'll say force move is probably. I'll probably say it's like pretty. It's all full.
It's like child's play. Moving stuff around with the force.
Okay, then. Okay, I've kind of maxed out my force move as well. So magnitude means you can. So we should be able to affect this large object. It's just us spending the force skill then. It doesn't look like we actually have to roll anything. It looks like it's largely RP. If you want to look at it, Sean, it's on page 298 of Force and Destiny.
Okay.
So I guess we just have to both roll the force.
Yeah, so whoever wants to use the force can use the force.
Oh, I'll do it.
So
the middle one?
How do I do it?
No, not a vigilance roll. Literally, you just roll the force die.
Like the one right under the word dice pool, right?
Yes, the white die, yeah.
Okay, so how many of those do I roll?
I'm gonna say you're gonna roll 3 of them.
Or wait, do we use it from the Destiny pool?
Yes, because Yeah, because the white die is the force die as well as like the destiny die.
Should it be on
Okay,
0?
Uh, yes, I believe so for the destiny pool.
Because my destiny pool says 6 light and 2 dark.
Yeah, I've kind of been forgetting to roll that just because we haven't really used it that much. Or at least I haven't really used it that much.
Is there purple? Like,
No, it's just meant to like influence rolls or make rolls easier. I just kind of forgot to.
So then Chance and I could just both use one of the light side dice that we have in our pool just to succeed on pushing back this
Yeah.
ceiling.
hold on. How am I getting a different result than you? Like, why am I not getting the circles?
Because you have blue and purple dice selected.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to select one force die to see a force die roll.
So the number
And
has to be something other than 0.
Yeah, so I think it's
Definitely
about the
get
destiny
one.
pool.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Gotcha. All right. Brian, while this is going on, sorry, April. While this is all going on, what is Brian doing?
Is there? Do I see anywhere to cut the power?
There's the switch, and I think you're now sitting on it, right, Daniel? Or that kills that.
I'm sitting on the pedestal, right?
Yeah.
Is it? And there's a button.
Well, it sank into the floor.
Oh, the button sank in the floor.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
well as the
so-
pedestal.
So
Yeah.
it's inaccessible, right?
Oh, so I'm not okay. So I'm just standing there where the pedestal was.
It's not inaccessible. You still see the button. It's just that it's sank into the floor, so it's like kind of like sticky.
Oh, well, I mean, what happens if we just use the force to press the button?
Do you want to press the button?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you just press with your hand, or how do you press it with?
Well, I mean, yeah. If I can press it with my hand, then fine. So it is accessible, or it's not accessible.
No, you can still press it.
Oh yeah, I'll press it. I mean,
Okay, you press it. So you press it, and then the ceiling goes back up. The switch pops back out, like the pedestal raises back up. The switch on it, and then the door you guys entered from opens.
okay. So this is a puzzle then. So I need to get
There's-
something to write with because
There's still a hole in the ceiling. Can we see where the hole leads? Go off into like the distance.
Yeah, you can see like the hole is like enough for the divot in the area, and who's ever in it. But then like there's nothing. It's just like it just leads more into the ceiling, if that makes sense.
So it's like an indentation that goes up maybe like 6 feet.
Do we see daylight or?
You can. This is like an enclosed room.
So it
Okay.
goes up into another space.
I
But
think
yeah.
you don't have the capability to do like a quick drawing, do you? Like a little
Me,
stick figure drawing.
me.
Yeah, because I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble visualizing what the room is like.
Let me see if I can do it.
So is it just like a round room with this?
No, it's a white room. So I guess think of it like I'm gonna post an image, and then I'll try to that should help explain it. It's like a white cortosis room. It looks like this. The ceiling is 30 feet up. The walls are like 30 feet apart. From the front wall, there's nothing there, to the back wall where the door is, that's 60 feet. And then just in the middle is the switch, and then up above is the
So
is
as
the hole.
Well, sorry there. So as we pushed the button, ceiling started to drop. Okay.
Yes, yep. And then when you pressed it again, it went back up. It reset.
Okay. Well, what if everybody leaves the room except one person, and so how big is the hole?
You're on the right track, I think.
Ceiling? So the hole that's in the ceiling is about the same size as what? As the pedestal?
The pedestal, yeah.
Yeah.
So one person could theoretically sit on the pedestal and go through the hole in the ceiling.
Yeah. And then maybe we could ferry in one at a time if we figure out how it works.
But if the ceiling goes all the way down to the floor, that would then shut off the route to the button to us. And what if the person?
Well, we don't know what happens when what happens when the ceiling comes all the way down. Like it could open up another door.
Yeah,
I'll risk myself for that since this isn't even my body.
It's the drugs talking.
Right.
Genko, you have become so much more fearless in this body.
You know, and
I
I'm
feel
proud.
like I
I'm
can
proud
do
of you for it.
anything. I can reach my toes standing up.
Yeah, this is. I'm fully okay. Like this is how Kel's body dies. That's fine. Imagine the stories.
That sounds like an anime. It's like I'm fine living with a fishman's body for the last half of my life.
It's like an isekai.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally a Star Trek Deep Space Nine character.
Well, I'm just glad you guys didn't become Tuvix.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Tuvix.
I'm glad my partner John isn't down here because he probably would have. He's obsessed with Voyager, so
He would have gotten that reference, and he would have said.
I got it because he's made me watch that episode before. It is a really good moral quandary that leads to a good discussion. But
and Janeway is a monster for just murdering him. She was willing to take that on. But
all right, so Kel is going to heroically, well, Genko in Kel's body is going to heroically test the apparatus with only him in it.
And we'll stay outside the room, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, I turn around and leave.
Hopefully our comms are still able to project through when the door closes.
Well, we have a special bond. Let's talk to him through the Force.
So everyone's exiting the room here for Genko?
What?
What'd you
I
say?
believe that's the plan, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all outside the room, save for poor young Genko.
I heard
Poor old young Genko.
Yeah. So you're in the room alone, Genko. Are you all outside the room looking at him?
Yeah, but the door's going to close, right?
But the door's closed, right? It's opaque.
Well, but did you press the button yet, Genko?
Wait for them all to get out, and then I do one last backflip, and then I press the button.
Just in case you lose the ability to do any more.
Exactly.
I got to feel the wind move through my hair one more time.
100%.
Yeah, Genko, you press the button. So you press the button. The ceiling begins to descend. It takes about a minute. So like as the minute's counting down, are you standing in the divot?
Yes, according to plan.
Okay, so you're standing in the divot. As it keeps going, as time keeps going, getting further and further down. The divot kind of like begins to like envelop you. And then all of a sudden, all of a sudden, like just before, like maybe like a few inches off the floor, just before like the ceiling, like would crush somebody, it rises back up, and you see the door on the other side open.
Okay. I go to the open door.
Okay, you go to the open door. The door behind you closes, and then you guys watch as the door in front, the door that you guys left, opens again, and you don't see Genko in the room.
All right, so we are just going to ferry in one at a time then.
I mean, Genko, are you there? Genko, are you there? Take out my communicator. Genko, are you there?
I pull out my comms and I say, no, I'm not there anymore. I'm here.
Where's where's here? What happened?
Okay, I mean, I will literally continue this joke forever. So I go, I'm on, a door opened up on the other end as soon as the wall descended, and I fit perfectly in the divot.
That hole was made for you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what you like? What you see? Can you describe where you? Can you have someone like Sean describe where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. 1 second, I open my eyes and I take in all before me, and I open my mouth and I say,
Yeah. So what you find is it's like a walkway. It's like a hallway that leads to like an next area.
It's a hallway.
it's a hallway.
As long as it wasn't a trap.
This building is like all hallways.
Yeah, Sith aren't very good interior designers.
So hallways are just wasted space.
Right.
Can't
No,
do anything with them.
It's chances to ruminate and get angrier about
Sorry.
whatever is pissing you off.
Sorry, you also see beneath you, so it's a hallway, but like the the floor is like transparent and you see the lava rushing beneath you.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
any signs of life or any potential dangers there, Genko?
Sean, while they're
No,
talking,
it appears safe.
while they're talking to Genko, I'm just gonna go into the room, sit in the pedestal, and press a button.
Okay, you do that. And you just you sit in the pedestal. Same thing happens. The door on the other side opens.
And I walk through it, and then I see invisible glass and a lot of lava, and it scares the shit out of me for just a second, I assume.
Yep, you see Genko, and then like the door behind you closes.
Well, as we're waiting for our turns, I'm going to kind of turn to Brian Chance and be like, so what purpose do you think the Sith might have in creating a system where everyone very slowly has to proceed to the next section?
They're just
There must
really
be
extra.
some sort of strategic value.
Well, it would make it very difficult to get a group of. I mean, if we were an assault team, or it would take many minutes for. It's going to take us 5-10 minutes to do this, so it does limit how fast people can invade your facility.
Yeah, just like in 300.
Also, the Sith are just assholes sometimes. They would do this just to make you do something extra.
They definitely come off as middle management.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, the more pissed off you are, the better you are at the dark side. So this is part of your morning commute.
They're not even trying to piss us off. They're just trying to vaguely annoy us with extra work.
I mean, if we had a rope ascender, we could use those, but we don't.
Could I, going into the room myself? Well, no, the other door only opens once the ceiling's all the way down.
True. Well, if you could, you have to. Okay, good point.
You think that maybe just one of the guys in the building, like while they're building it, they're like, it'd be really fun. Like, no function at all. It'd be really cool to have a room with a descending ceiling where we can only put through one person at a time.
Maybe.
By the time they pay us for it and they realize what happened, we'll
charge them 300% more for doing this.
It's like one other guy just wanted a fireman pole, but they're like, no, descending ceiling, fuck you.
Right.
Could I conceivably force open this door? Like a force move /push?
You could, but you don't know where the door is.
Isn't it right up in that indentation hole?
No.
Okay. I'll just wait my turn
Sorry.
and hope that we all don't have to run out of here later.
Is Droba going to be able to fit on the pedestal?
He said that I could fit inside a like a regular starfighter cockpit.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I've not grown corpulent like some other huts.
So I'll turn to Kel and say, I wonder what they're arguing about down there. What's taking them so long?
I was just waiting my turn.
So who goes next?
If no one else wants to go next, I'll go next.
Okay, you go next. Yeah. So the you push the button and everything.
Yep.
So you push the button. I assume you're in the divot. The ceiling goes down. It kind of like the divot like kind of like envelops you, and then before you hear like the ceiling hit the floor, the ceiling ascends, and you see like the door. You see a door on the other side of the room open, and you see both Kel and Genko on that side.
All right. I'll wave to you guys.
I'll wave back.
I won't. Not because I'm trying to be an asshole. My arms are just tired because I'm old.
Yeah. I'm waving like over enthusiastically because I realized how
My
easy it
arms
is
work
now.
so well.
And now I'm using the other hand, and now it just looks like I'm terrified asking you for help, but I'm just waving.
My shoulders hurt too much to wave.
So, what's the exit to this room? Can I see a clear exit to this room?
Oh, so like the hallway you're in?
Yes.
You just it kind of just goes down like a dark hallway. You don't see like any exit. It's just continues in the dark.
Forever hallway into the darkness.
Well, sorry, the lava does give off a light, but like it's kind of like a dark light, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't illuminate.
It's
the way
like a
down the hallway.
Mustafar light.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It's a lava
Nice.
lamp.
Nice.
Yes.
Can I use my helmet's life tracking functions and see if it sees anything down the hallway?
Sure.
I touch the side of, and you guys see a little like tracker go in front of my little visor.
You actually detect 6 faint life forms around maybe like 300 feet down this hallway.
I tell everyone that.
Like
and
faint as in they're not conscious?
You are not sure. You just sense that they're faint.
Or just faint because of the distance.
Again, you're not really sure. They just seem faint. So I'm not trying to be like evasive on this. It's just
It's fine.
Well, you are being evasive, buddy.
Yeah. Good job,
Okay.
Sean.
sorry.
Consider yourself evaded.
All right, so we'll wait for everybody else to get here, unless Bria and Chance want to wait in the previous room.
No, we'll head on. I can head on.
I'm down. Let's keep going.
Who wants to go
Down
first?
to get up.
Okay, so we're one by one on it. Cool.
Thankfully, we have all this lava to stare at while we're waiting.
Oh yeah, I could watch lava
I
lamps
can
for
hold up for
hours.
here. Go ahead.
All right, I go first, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Chris. Chance goes into the room. Or Chance, Cronstock goes into the room. And then you press the button. I assume.
Yep.
Yeah,
You see, the Sith designed it so every 4th person dies.
Right.
Oh, Kronsock's gonna be real choked up about never getting his body back then.
Every good person dies.
That would be a real asshole Sith.
That would be a very Sith thing to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just no reason or explanation.
You see like a bunch of like flamethrowers just exit the walls, just
And you know what? George Lucas would approve because like foreign Japanese means death, and he would be like, "It's like poetry. It rhymes."
right.
It rhymes.
But yeah, same thing happens. The ceiling descends, and then yeah, you see the door open on the other side, and you see the other three on that side.
All of your friends waiting very patiently for you.
Chance will sort of wave awkwardly.
Again, I'm on the waving train. I'm just going crazy.
My shoulders have had enough of a rest. Well, I will very briefly wave.
Oh, wow, thanks.
Okay, but now you got to wince in pain.
Yeah, like now I need a break.
Yeah, I have a shoulder pain that I've had for the last 10 years. You just activated it.
I have overexerted myself with one wave.
You've activated the trap card.
The wave card.
I have activated my rheumatism card.
It's super effective.
Yeah, it doesn't feel too great.
Do you have rheumatism?
I mean, I have rheumatoid and osteoarthritis. Yeah.
I had my saxophone teacher in college was in the middle of cancer treatment when I first started studying with him, and he would do his chemo right there in his office, like during lessons and stuff, because he didn't want to miss work. But it kind of like wiped out his immune system, and he ended up getting rheumatoid arthritis in his hands. But like the only thing that made his hands feel better consistently was playing the saxophone.
Gotcha.
So it was like this like random it's like it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, because it is like a Well, I'll keep going. Sorry. But yeah, so I assume Chance goes over to that door or
Yep.
exits the door.
I passed through.
Okay. Yep. You see the door behind you open, and then Brian, you see an empty room.
She looks
Do
in the
we
helmet.
catch
Oh, it's
Kronstock
still
up on
moving.
the faint life signs?
Yep.
And then she sighs and gets in the elevator.
Okay. You do that. You press the button, I assume.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and then the same thing happens. The ceiling descends and ascends, and you see them on the other side.
Walk through the door.
Okay. Yeah. And then the door shuts behind you.
Wait. She stops. Guys,
Yes.
is there a way does there seem to be a way for the door to open from the other side?
Uh-oh. Why?
Well, I just want to make sure before I step out of here that we can get back inside.
Good point. Can I look around and see if there's a button?
Sure.
Do I see a button?
You do that.
Okay, so thank you for looking.
Well,
I can see why this was designed this way then.
the bad news is that there's no button for the door, but the good news is that we are precariously suspended over a lake of lava.
So what do we want to do? Chance's body is still back at the ship. If we don't find another way out of here, he might be able to.
It's entirely possible the only way back is through the complex that we're moving through.
I just wanted to think about it before it was too late.
I mean, I assume the people that build this place.
Oh, but we also have Kronsock back on the ship. We could just tell.
That's what I said. We have Chance's body back on the ship, if necessary.
Yeah, I assume the people that built this place wouldn't intend just to go in to never come out again.
I'm just saying, if we're in a hurry or encounter an issue, it might not be easy to backtrack. I don't see any way to stop this door from closing. I assume there's to be some kind of sensor or something that...
Has Brian exited the room yet?
No.
Brian, you see the door start to descend.
Well, I'm gonna... So if I don't... Oh, so it's starting to go back down?
Yes. Yep. The door. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will push the button again.
Okay. You see it all start to restart. The door in front of you closes, and the ceiling begins to descend again.
Okay. Well, I said as long as I am back up at the top. I want to go back. I want to go back up with the rest of them.
You want to go back to them?
Yes.
Yeah. So same thing happens over again. You see the door open.
Okay. Well, I'll go through this time.
After you go here, the door behind you closes.
So apparently it does. So it does reset on it after. Weird. Well, let's continue on.
Let's go check out these life signs.
So you continue on. And after like you can feel like the intense heat coming from like the from the bottom of like this area with the lava. But it also seems to be like climate controlled in here. So like it's not like while it is hot, like you guys are sweating, like it's not like there is like at least like it does kind of feel cool as well, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's kind of like after like you work out or like you do like you get really sweaty, then like you hit like a blast of like cold air or something. It feels like that.
So we're being shielded from the worst parts of the heat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. But eventually you pass into like a new area. What you see is the faint life signs. You see, you see 6 different golden statues.
6.
Yes, you see 6 different golden statues. And they all have lightsabers.
Like real ones or statue ones?
They look like real ones.
Are they turned on?
Or
they're just holding the hilts.
Just holding the hilts. They're not
okay.
turned on. But you see 3. You see 3 male Jedi and 3 female Jedi. Or sorry, not Jedi, but
Sith.
Well, not Sith, but like 3 looking like 3 force wielding looking characters.
Okay.
Or 6. Sorry.
Okay, so 3 of them are male, 3 of them are female.
Yeah.
With the lightsabers. So hold on. So you said that they're statues.
Yes.
Are they the source of the faint life signs?
Real?
Do you want to examine them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you examine them, and yes, they are the source of the faint life signs.
So are they encased in something? Like, are they living beings encased in a statue, or are they just living statues?
I would say you'd have to do further investigation to try and find out.
Okay.
Does this look like an encased in carbonite sort of situation?
No, it looks more like there's like more accentuation to it.
Can I do a perception and do like a detailed examination?
And while he does that, can I make a lore check to see if I know if the ancient Sith or Jedi did something like this in the past?
Sure.
Maybe I have paid attention to some of my lessons as
So
a
they
young
seem
wolf.
to be gold statues with actual lightsabers in their hands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many purple?
Well, hold on. Is this going to be the same purple for both of us?
So, sorry, Joel, what are you trying to do?
I'm doing a lore check to see if I ever heard of anything like this being used by the ancient Sith or Jedi during my lessons as a youngling and Padawan.
Gotcha. Drubble, yours will be a 3. Kelly, your perception will be a 2.
You said 2?
2, yes.
Okay, cool. Monty, if you could facilitate that for me.
Yeah.
That sounded a little middle management.
Ooh.
Nope. Though somehow I managed to do it with advantage.
So I will say that maybe you've heard about maybe like, you've heard about maybe like some traps like this before, but you're not sure if they're Sith in origin or something else.
Oh, it's potentially a trap.
Yeah, but like you're not sure like how it works or anything like that. If that makes sense.
I'm going to say to everybody else, I think this might be a trap.
You didn't say it right.
I'm kind of half remembering a lesson, but to be fair, the lesson was from like 60 years ago. So I'm not 100% sure on it.
And then Kel, yeah. So do you like touch one of the statues?
No, no. This is a visual. This is a visual examination only.
So visually, you look at the statues. It looks like there could be something underneath, but like, so I'm trying to describe it. So you know that like this wasn't designed. You know, like, these statues weren't designed. If that makes sense.
It doesn't. So they occurred naturally.
Well, no. I mean, like you know, like these, like so. Sorry, these aren't natural. Like, but they weren't designed. Like they weren't like built like you know how like a person would make a statue. It looks like maybe like these just kind of happened. If that makes sense.
It does not make sense even a little bit.
Okay, I guess so. I'm trying to say is like, so you know how like you know someone would like carve like a stone statue.
Sure.
It's not that, but it's also
You
not.
don't see any
natural.
signs of tools or seams or anything of that sort.
Yeah, imagine a stalactite or stalagmite, whichever one comes out of the ground, except it's in the shape of a person.
Okay. Stalagmites happen naturally. So I don't. So I can't tell what made. I can't tell what made it.
Yeah, but you know, like, but just from your perception, like, you know that, like, you probably know that, like, this, you know, is like a person that's, you know, that is either trapped under it or restricted to it.
Okay. Can I? Would it be a different perception roll if I were to also examine the room that we're in?
No, I'll say like you can examine it.
Okay.
So you see like so you examine the room. It looks more regal. So it looks more regal. Something I'd say you also notice is that the people the people who were like or sorry, not the people but like the statues. It looks like they're all carrying something. Like each of them is carrying something.
Other than the lightsaber, you mean?
Yes, it looks like they're all like carrying like some type of like treasure.
Ooh, treasure.
From looking at these statues, do any of them fit the description of the Dark Jedi?
It does not.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a guess, based off of what Droba said about it possibly being a trap, that if we were to touch the treasure or the lightsabers, we're probably in trouble. Oh, is there a way out of this room?
So you do see a way out. There is like a door in front of you.
And it's open, like it's unobstructed.
Yes.
Okay. What do I see on the floor?
Just look on the floor.
So I don't see any like potential booby traps or anything.
You did not. But also in the room, you do see like, well, sorry. So there's two doors. Sorry, there's the door leading out, and there's the door leading to like another area where it says vault.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
just
no, it's
trying
okay.
to-
I'm just trying to think of what. I think someone with a better connection to the Force than I currently have should try to get a read on what kind of beings are either inside or made of the statues. Because I don't assume that's something I could do very easily. Because I'm
Chance will glance meaningfully at Drolba.
All right. I'll reach out.
reach out.
Yep.
I will also reach out.
I was about to say it could be Kel too. Like
Think you reach out.
Yes.
Okay, I'll
Ginkgo Kel.
choose one.
Almost
He'll
saying we
choose
should.
another.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've developed almost an ability to jump out of my body and deal with body snatchers. So I guess I'm a good candidate for this.
Oh, you're jumping out of your body. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know, since
You're so
no. I'm staying inside my body when I do this. I'm just reaching out through the Force,
Hmm.
and I'm prepared right now to repel anybody who tries to do any body snatching.
Okay. You do not sense any body snatchers.
Do I sense any mind in there?
Again, you sense like a faint life force, but you don't sense any like thinking or anything.
Can I wake it up?
The statues?
the life
Not this
forces.
Oh, I mean, you can try.
What would I roll?
Uh, maybe just a normal force roll, I'd say.
Okay, well then that would be me spending a light side point then.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, if you want to, sure.
Okay, I'll just spend a light side point.
You spend the light side point. Yeah, you try to like stoke whatever life force is in this thing. And for a second, it seems like it's kind of getting. It seems like it's kind of getting like. It might be waking up, but then like it just kind of goes back down.
Can you
Back.
describe is the treasure they're holding? Is it notable in any way? Or is it
just looks,
just
looks
expensive
like
shit?
artifacts.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can
just like Sith artifacts.
Can I make a discipline check through the Force to try to pull it that extra distance to consciousness?
Sure.
How many purple?
I'd say 2.
That's a lot of Force die.
If this doesn't work, we're just gonna give it meth.
Oh, okay.
Break it. That's been working for us.
Two
Yeah,
success.
just swing a lightsaber at it.
Okay, yeah. You do that. You feel it kind of comes to life, and you kind of feel like a sense of horror coming from it, as like it's sort of like in like a prison inside of like its own mind, if that makes sense.
Yes, I try to reassure. I say, "Hello, my name
Hello
is
there.
Drolba. Who are you?"
It's not like, so you're not really sensing like any you're pretty much all you're sensing is complete madness.
I try within my own mind to construct a calming room and like put furniture in there, and then I'm picturing the statue as it is in front of me, except in human form, and trying to place it, aka the consciousness, in that room. And in the room, I'm going to try to play comforting music.
On a harp.
No, obviously the most comforting music in the world comes from the Jizz Wailers. So obviously,
I was about to say you can just do it on bagpipes.
Right. Didn't they change that now? They're not Jizz Whalers or something else?
No, they changed it to something else,
Yeah.
right?
It's too bad because they came out with official merch, and I still have the action figure of the Jizz Wailers. So it was a canon event.
Because they're cowards.
April, did you say what they changed it to? I didn't hear.
Yeah, I think it was Jats.
Oh, okay.
Jats Wailers.
That's a little less offensive, I suppose.
But yeah, Jets. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, just really, it was just so funny. They just keep it as it is.
Okay, so the other thing, I refuse to believe that in 1977, when the book was written, because I think that's from the novelization, the Star Wars novelization. I refuse to believe that in 1977 that they weren't already using jizz as a euphemism for semen.
I mean, I'm sure they were. I think Lucas.
There's no way he didn't know.
I think maybe he just thought people would be wholesome enough to not go to that aspect. But he was just sort of like.
Also, did he write the original novelization?
I think he got credit. I actually have a copy of that book.
Yeah, but
I
okay.
think a social media marketing team, right? Like the
What if he had
dangers and pitfalls.
What if he had like a
of having
ghostwriter that just
millennial on
like
staff.
snuck it in or something?
That would be hilarious.
I mean,
So-
it came out before the first movie. And in it, Han Solo was an alien.
Right.
Oh yeah, George Lucas didn't write it. Alan Dean Foster ghostwrote it.
Sorry, trying to. Oh, right. So, Joe, but you do that thing with the mind and everything. Yeah. So you see like a male Jedi kind of, like appear like in your mind and everything. You see him screaming.
Like, he's screaming at the moment, but I'm trying to calm him down. I'm gonna change the room so now he's inside the Jedi Temple.
Okay, you do that. He begins to calm down.
Put some Kenny G on the record player.
Right. But yeah, so you do that. He begins to kind of calm down. Yeah. So what do you ask me?
I say to him, hello there. I am Jedi Knight Rolba. Who might I be addressing?
Sorry, I gotta get a name real quick. I'll be honest. I just assume you guys are gonna cut these people up.
Well, it's a Jedi Knight,
Oh.
so
Sorry. Okay.
it's like, dang, these people might actually rescue people.
Right. Okay, so his name is Saljar Rigcrow.
Saljar Ringcrow. I'll say, well, it's good to meet you, Saljar. Just out of curiosity, do you know Master Yoda?
He asks who?
You might know him as Knight Yoda or Padawan Yoda.
He says he may be. He says the only type of like Yoda he's heard of was that
I describe him physically as well.
Oh, he says he remembers like something like that being brought to the Jedi Temple as like a baby.
Oh, okay. So he's from how? At least how? I asked him what the year is in his last memory.
The year is like probably like so Yoda would be like 800 years old right now. So I would say this is about maybe like like at least like 750 years, maybe 720 years.
So Yoda would have been the same age as Grogu was at the beginning
Yeah.
of Mando. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him. Do you remember what your last mission was?
He says the last mission that he was with like 5 other Jedi was to find Sith artifacts, was to kind of like bring Sith artifacts back to the temple. Um, just to, like just kind of like looting whatever Sith artifacts they could get after winning the war.
To secure them.
He says yes.
Quote unquote secure them.
So can my memory now be jogged about that trap thing I kind of remembered?
Yeah, so you would know that like probably them grabbing the stuff. Well, you're kind
It
of
was a booby trap, right?
yeah. But he also kind of like starts saying he also says like, "Are we safe from him in here?" He says.
Are you safe from who?
He says, "Are we safe from him in here?" He says.
From him? Who's him?
He says the ones who turned us into these. He says.
I'm going to tell him. Look, it looks like that a significant amount of time has passed since you came here. Um, on the plus side, at the moment, it appears as if there is no one left alive within this facility, except for you and your people. So that's a good thing. The fact that you're still alive is another brilliant thing. Because you're alive, there's always a chance that we can free you and bring you back to the temple. Could you tell me who the he was? Was this a surviving Sith Lord that you were going after here?
He says that like he's not sure. He says he just remembers like a being that appeared, and then all of a sudden like you're asking him questions now. He says.
Okay. So you don't have too much of a memory of the passage of time.
Yeah, he says yeah.
Okay. Um. Anything else you can tell me about this facility?
He says that there's a vault to the left, but they never explored past the vault.
Okay. Can you tell me, and you don't need to tell me directly, Chom. This is presumably something that Grolba would remember. Can you give me all the names of your team members?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. I tell him I am going to withdraw from you from the Force in this moment, but we are going to endeavor to do our best to bring you back to the orders to get you fixed. Does that sound good? Oh, I'm going to ask him since he was back from that era where they just kind of finished off the Sith, so he might have heard about traps like this. Do you know of any methods to release someone from a trap like this?
He says he's not sure, but he says he thinks you have to pass the test. He says.
What test?
He says it's the test of knowledge. He says.
The one that I failed.
Yeah, right.
So, what do you mean a test of knowledge?
He says you'll know when you're tested. He says.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm again not trying to be vague, but it's really like
I mean, that's all he can say.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think we should probably leave it here. And then I guess maybe. Well, Richard, were you done asking your questions?
Yeah, I'll finish for now.
Okay. And then are you going to tell us?
Yeah, well, I'm not keeping anything secret.
Okay. All right. So we should pick this up at the test the test of knowledge. You know, whatever do you call that? Tidbit, or we'll continue the adventure is what I'm saying. So
Sounds good.
looking forward. Chris, so Star Wars: The Acolyte season 1 episode 3 is on Tuesday night. And then Chris and I will be doing the Jedi Enclave Presents Now This is Podcasting podcast, where we will do a recap of the episode and a discussion, which will be at a different time, I think we said, just for this week.
5:30? I don't know.
It'll be either 5 or 5:30. If you're subscribed to us on YouTube, which by the way, we are almost to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're at like 998 or something, which for us, for YouTube, is kind of a big deal because
it's like 990 more than I ever expected.
Yeah, like YouTube has been kind of hard to break into anyway, just because YouTube is kind of shitty. But so like we have like 15,000 so on followers on Facebook, but like every time we put out a Mike Zero Live the week, we like rack up like 30 or 40 subscribers. It's really great. Which I think we're gonna have another one on Wednesday. Just because there's some stuff we got to talk about, but that'll be Wednesday 5 or 5:30. If you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, make sure you're signed up for notifications for when we go live. And we're gonna do a Star Wars Acolyte watch party after that. Probably, if you guys are around to do, we'll just do it at the same time that we did the last week, which was like 7 o'clock ish. So if you want to do that, you don't have to bring your own copy. You can watch mine. That'll be on Discord in our voice channel. So you can come by and watch the episode with us, and it'll be a lot of fun. And then we'll have Star Wars Battlefront 2 like the later part of the week. And am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's it. So we had a pretty nice group of viewers tonight. So thanks for